When you think of a state capital, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably government buildings, right? And yeah, Albany, New York definitely has those. But that is just scratching the surface. Today, we're going to peel back the layers and uncover this really surprising mix of deep history, modern culture, and even some wild nature that makes the city, well, pretty unique. So here's the game plan for our little tour. We're going to start with the city's historic roots, then jump into its buzzing cultural scene today. After that, we'll escape into some amazing green spaces. And we'll wrap it all up with a really fun bonus stop. Let's dive in. Okay, first up, let's talk about the foundations. We're going to explore the institutions that have been shaping Albany for centuries. I mean, this is the very bedrock of the city's identity. Right at the heart of Albany, you've got these two major institutions that are kind of like two sides of the same coin. On one side, you have the New York State Capitol. I mean, just look at it. It's this stunning architectural marvel, and it's the center of political power. And right next door, you've got the New York State Museum, which is basically the state's collective memory. So one place makes the history, and the other one preserves it. It's a perfect balance. Now, if the State Museum covers the whole of New York, the Albany Institute of History and Art is where we get the real close-up. It's actually one of the oldest museums in the entire country, and it gives you this incredibly rich, detailed look at the art and the heritage that is specific to the Upper Hudson Valley. This is where you get Albany's own story, you know? And that quote right there just brilliantly sums up our next stop. We're not talking about artifacts behind glass anymore. The USS Slater is a World War II destroyer escort, and it's preserved floating right there on the Hudson River. This isn't just a museum ship. It's a direct, tangible connection to the past. It's a powerful, floating piece of history that you can actually walk through and really experience for yourself. All right, so we've looked at Albany's deep past. Now let's pivot and jump right into its energetic present. This is where we get to check out the modern architecture and entertainment spots that really define the city today. You absolutely cannot talk about modern Albany without talking about the Empire State Plaza. I mean, it is this massive, striking, almost jarring example of modernist architecture that totally redefined the city skyline. And get this, when it was built back in the 60s and 70s, it was hugely controversial. Imagine this stark, bold vision just dropped right into a historic capital. But here's the thing about the Empire State Plaza. It is so much more than just a bunch of government office buildings. It's a living, breathing part of the city. Behind that bold exterior, you'll find an incredible public art collection, and its open spaces are the central gathering place for concerts and festivals. It's a hub for government, sure, but for community life, too. The city's performance scene is just as diverse. At one end of the spectrum, you've got the Egg. And yes, it's really shaped like that. This really unique venue for more intimate music and theater. And then, at the other end, you have the Palace Theater, this beautifully restored grand old movie palace that hosts major touring acts. It's such a fantastic contrast between the super modern and the classic historic. And for the biggest shows, the biggest events, Albany has two major powerhouses. Crossgates Mall is this huge regional hub for shopping and entertainment. And the MVP Arena, that's your go-to spot for major league sports, big-name concerts, and all those large-scale touring events. Okay, let's step away from the buildings and the stages for a minute and go explore the green soul of the city. These are the natural escapes that give a really vital sense of balance to the whole urban landscape. We're going to start with a true classic, Washington Park. This is, without a doubt, the city's historic backyard. Think beautiful landscapes, winding walking paths, gorgeous gardens, a lake. It's really the quintessential urban park that has been a central green oasis for the people of Albany for generations. But right on the edge of the city, there's something way more unusual. So before we get to the place itself, we need to understand what it is. A pine bush, or a pine barrens, is a globally rare kind of environment. Basically, it's all about sandy soil and plants that have adapted to and actually need periodic fires to survive and thrive. It's a truly fascinating and pretty unique landscape. And that brings us to the Albany Pine Bush Preserve. So this isn't just a park, it's a massive nature preserve that protects one of the last remaining examples of this inland pine barrens ecosystem. It's got miles of trails and gives you a chance to experience a truly wild and rare environment, literally minutes from downtown. All right, before we wrap this all up, we've got one last bonus stop on our tour, a place that's all about that classic, nostalgic kind of fun.
And our final stop is Huck Finn's Playland. It's this beloved local amusement park that is just a total throwback in the best way possible. We're not talking about some massive theme park here. It's a charming spot that just delivers on that classic, family-friendly fun.
So, from a historic Capitol building to a modernist plaza, from a classic city park to a rare Pine Barrens preserve, Albany is truly a city of fascinating contrasts. It just proves that a capital can be so much more than just its government buildings. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. What are the hidden layers, the surprising combinations that define the place you live?